Well, good morning, everybody. Meteorologist Travis Klineski here on this Wednesday morning. A very calm start to our day. The winds are very light. There is one feature I did want to mention here as we get started. This is the boundary right out here to the east, and it's a backdoor kind of cold front. It's a very slow-moving cold front, so it's not slow enough, or it's not still enough to call a stationary front, but it's not really technically a cold front either. It's kind of what we call a quasi-stationary front, which basically means a very slow-moving cold front. So what this has been doing the last several days, it's been diving southward through the Great Lakes and then backing westward towards our area. So it's kind of a slow-moving backdoor cold front is what we would call it here. And this is going to be a place where there is going to be a focal point for a chance of rain later today. There are some showers and storms in Iowa and Minnesota this morning. We may see some new development this afternoon over eastern Nebraska. But you can see how that front barely moves. So if we see any rain today, your best bet's going to be over near the Missouri River, maybe as far west as Norfolk, Lincoln, those places here. Nebraska City, Falls City, Omaha, Sioux City. Central Nebraska, yesterday we did still see a couple of pop-up showers, and with the no wind, like we said, we have no steering wind out there. There's barely any wind. And yesterday when they popped up, they basically went up and they didn't go anywhere, and then they just rained themselves out. It's kind of like predicting it's very tough. It's like throwing popcorn on one of those old school popcorn makers. You throw the oil on, you got the ingredients with the heat. Out there, right? You get some of that lift. There's not much lift, but there's a little bit out there. It's like throwing popcorn on one of those old popcorn makers. Which one's going to pop first in it, and are there going to be a lot of them that pop or not? Yesterday, a few popped, but not as many as what we saw back on Monday or Sunday, so most places did remain dry yesterday, but there were a couple of showers out there. Today, the chance is lower. Yes, there is still a chance, but it's very low. So we could see a little bit of activity, but most of us will stay on the dry side. If we do see anything, a lot of this is going to disappear by sundown. So we'll see pretty dry conditions at sunset. But behind that front, which does actually start to make some advancements westward towards the Tri-Cities as a cold front, I'll call it a cold front, we could see still some lingering showers and isolated thunderstorms. They'll be dying thunderstorms though, so they'll be fairly weak overnight into early tomorrow morning. Now tomorrow that front stalls back out, but now it's over central Nebraska, and so we'll increase our chances of rain tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. The chance of severe weather is fairly low. Can't rule out a couple of strong storms with a little bit of hail and wind, maybe a fluky storm, kind of like what we saw last Friday, I believe it was, in Central City, Aurora area, or there were actually landspout tornadoes with that too, but we saw some hail with that. They're kind of fluky. You don't get a lot of those in this kind of a weather pattern. Can't rule that out, but most of these are going to be your generic general showers and isolated thunderstorms. Some of those are going to dissipate through the evening and overnight, but a few might remain, so the chances do get lower through the night, Thursday night into Friday morning as that front slowly pushes west, but kind of still kind of stalled in the area, so it's not moving much out there, but we'll see more chances of rain and thunderstorms towards Friday. And then Saturday, a cold front dives south out of Canada, and actually you can see it, I don't have it marked on here, but underneath the banner at the top of the screen here, the front's actually from Montana to northern South Dakota. That front's going to dive southward through our area on Saturday. That'll bring us our best chance of rain and thunderstorms. Now, the Storm Prediction Center, they have highlighted eastern Nebraska with a marginal risk of severe storms for later today. A low-end chance, we're talking some large hail, some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Not a lot of it expected, but can't be completely ruled out. Nothing for the rest of our area for Thursday, nothing for Friday right now. So as of this point, the chances are low. I'm not going to say a 0% chance, but the chances are low. It's going to be a toasty one today. Temperatures pushing mid to upper 80s, low to mid 90s. Coolest temperatures out west, warmest in the east, could push 95 maybe in Lincoln. It's going to be pretty toasty out there. And again, with very little wind, it's going to just feel that much hotter out there. It'd be nice to get a little bit of a nice breeze. Tonight we'll dip back into the upper 50s and low to mid 60s for overnight lows. Tomorrow's temperatures will be a little cooler, but still very warm, mid to upper 80s, maybe some spots near 90. Notice eastern Nebraska with that front now sitting here. Eastern Nebraska actually cools down a little bit in these areas. It's been pretty toasty the last couple of days, but they're getting a little shot of cooler air from the Great Lakes region. They're on the edge of it right there. Tomorrow night into Friday morning, we'll be back down to the upper 50s and low to mid 60s. And then looking ahead to your day on Friday, highs mostly in the 80s. Those temperatures kind of creeping down as the rain chances start to pick back up. So as you look at the 7-day forecast, you can see the temperatures slowly coming down the next couple of days, but still very warm and above average. A 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms for the Tri-Cities area Thursday. We'll go with a 50-50 shot on Friday. Cold front, it's going to sink south on Saturday. That's going to bring us our best chance of rain and thunderstorms this week. It's a 70% chance, geared more towards the end of the day and into the evening hours. The morning hours, the chances is a little bit lower, maybe a 30% chance in the morning, but the chance will pick up as the afternoon goes on and especially into the evening hours. Again, not much of a severe weather threat with that. Some of that might linger into Sunday morning, but then probably drying out. Most of the rain should shift to the south or in southern parts of the area, south of the Tri-Cities, southwest of the Tri-Cities on Sunday. We'll get that cooler air and some breeze as well, actually some wind movement out there, some air movement. Temperatures in the mid-70s, a very nice day out there, not so warm. I'd take it. And it's still not bad on Monday. Temperatures coming up a little bit here as we start to warm back up into next week. We'll throw in a chance of rain and thunderstorms on Thursday as the chances will return down the road. And there'll be more traditional chances, west to east moving storms as we get into next week. I'll show you that in just a bit. As we take a look at your 10-day forecast, again, the temperatures coming down for the weekend, then they start to creep back up next week. Let's show you the forecast models. This is the European model. Again, not much today other than eastern Nebraska. Tomorrow, the chances will be a little bit better in the afternoon. Better yet on Friday. Better yet on Saturday, and that's with that cold front diving southward. Saturday afternoon, see, not much in the morning, but Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Sunday morning, then they start to shift southward. We'll clear things up Sunday, and most of Monday, maybe something off to the southwest. And then as we'll go, and I'm going to go through this a little faster now, here's Monday to Tuesday here. The European model's not as aggressive for Tuesday, but we do get some chances that return later on next week towards Wednesday and Thursday. So that's the European forecast model. GFS gets a little bit different next week. So let's take a look at the GFS here. Eastern Nebraska today. Tomorrow we get a little bit more towards central Nebraska with that front kind of backing into the area. Friday, a little bit better chance. Friday afternoon. And notice the better chances are in the afternoon and the evening, not so much in the morning. There are chances in the morning, just better chances afternoon and evening. Saturday, here comes that cold front from the north. So increasing chances as the day goes on and going into the nighttime hours. Some of that might linger into Sunday morning, like I said, but Sunday afternoon mostly shifts to the south. We'll cool it back behind that front. Monday, we'll go with dry conditions for now. Maybe out west. We'll see. And then the chances increase towards Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. And notice they're more, and I'll go back real quick here, notice more traditional west to east moving storms now for next week. So we get kind of back into a more typical, what we call a progressive weather pattern where things progress across the country. We've been in a very blocky pattern recently. Now we're going to start to see things progress across the country once again. And just to show you what I'm saying real quick here. So the weather pattern we've been in here, for instance, today, I'm going to draw in the jet stream here. It's kind of what's called an omega high. The high being, let's delete that one. We'll start all over. So, omega high. So it kind of looks like the shape of the Greek letter omega, which kind of looks like a horseshoe a little bit, right? So there's your high right here. So, and this high has just been kind of stuck here, clockwise circulation here. But what we're getting here these next couple of days, we've had there's cooler air in the east. This is the reason why the East Coast has had so much smoke the last couple of days. Big fires up here in eastern Canada, and that air has been moving that smoke down. Well, that's backing towards us here the next couple of days here, but eventually everything's going to start to move back across the country. So that high is going to push east. We'll start to get a low that builds into the western U.S. We see more progression from west to east as we get into next week. So that's the good news, is we'll start to get a more active weather pattern and not see such a stagnant weather pattern like what we've been seeing recently. So, all right, well, with that, I'm going to bring you a 7-day forecast one more time and wrap things up for today. I want to thank you all for watching here. Hopefully you get some rain here in the coming days ahead. I will see you all again on Thursday. I'm stalling on time just to wait for that 7-day forecast to pick back up. There it is. So here, but again, thank you all for watching. I will see you all again Thursday. Enjoy our Wednesday. Stay cool out there for today. See you all again tomorrow. Take care and God bless. Bye.